Genesis 31, Plain English Translation 1. Jacob heard Laban's sons complaining. Jacob has taken everything that belonged to our father. He's built all his wealth from what was ours. To Jacob also noticed that Laban's attitude toward him had changed. 3. Then the Lord said to Jacob, Return to the land of your ancestors, to your relatives. I will be with you. For so Jacob sent word to Rachel and Leah to meet him in the field where he kept his flocks. 5. He told them, I can see your father no longer looks at me the way he used to. But the God of my father has been with me. 6. You know how hard I've worked for your father. 7. Yet he has cheated me, changing my wages 10 times. But God didn't let him harm me. 8. When he said, The speckled animals will be your wages, the whole flock produced speckled young. When he said, The streaked ones will be your wages, then all the flocks bore streaked young. 9. In this way, God has taken your father's livestock and given them to me. 10. During the breeding season, I had a dream. I saw the male goats mating with the flock were streaked, speckled, and spotted. 11. The angel of God called to me in the dream, Jacob. I answered, Here I am. 12. He said, Look up and see. All the male goats mating with the flock are streaked, speckled, and spotted, for I have seen how Laban has been treating you. 13. I am the God who appeared to you at Bethel, where you anointed a pillar and made a vow to me. Now leave this land at once and return to your homeland. 14. Rachel and Leah responded, Do we still have any share in our father's estate? 15. Doesn't he treat us like foreigners? He sold us and has used up the money paid for us. 16. All the wealth God has taken from our father belongs to us and our children. So do whatever God has told you. 17. So Jacob prepared to leave. He put his children and wives on camels. 18. And drove all his livestock ahead of him, everything he had acquired in Paddan Aram, to go to his father Isaac in Canaan. 19. When Laban had gone to shear his sheep, Rachel stole her father's household gods. 20. Jacob also deceived Laban by not telling him he was running away. 21. So he fled with all he had, crossed the Euphrates River, and headed for the hill country of Gilead. 22. 3 days later, Laban was told Jacob had fled. 23. Taking his relatives with him, he pursued Jacob for 7 days and caught up with him in Gilead. 24. But God came to Laban in a dream and warned him, Be careful not to say anything to Jacob, good or bad. 25. When Laban overtook Jacob, Jacob had pitched his tent in the hills. Laban and his relatives camped nearby. 26. Laban said to Jacob, What have you done? You've deceived me and carried off my daughters like prisoners of war. 27. Why did you run away secretly, without telling me? I would have sent you away with joy and celebration. 28. You didn't even let me kiss my grandchildren and daughters goodbye. You've acted foolishly. 29. I have the power to harm you, but last night the God of your father warned me. Don't say anything to Jacob, good or bad. 30. Now you've left because you longed for your father's household. But why did you steal my gods? 31. Jacob answered, I was afraid you would take your daughters from me by force. 32. Whoever has your gods will not live. In front of our relatives, search for yourself. If you find anything that belongs to you, take it. Jacob didn't know Rachel had stolen them. 33. So Laban searched Jacob's tent, Leah's tent, and the tents of the 2 servant women, but found nothing. Then he entered Rachel's tent. 34. Rachel had taken the household gods and put them in her camel's saddle and was sitting on them. Laban searched the whole tent, but found nothing. 35. Rachel said to her father, Don't be angry, my lord, that I cannot stand before you. I'm having my period. So he searched, but didn't find the gods. 36. Jacob became angry and confronted Laban. What is my crime? What have I done wrong that you chase after me? 37. You've searched through all my belongings. What have you found that belongs to you? Put it here before our relatives, and let them judge between us. 38. These 20 years I've been with you. Your sheep and goats never miscarried, and I never ate rams from your flocks. 39. I didn't bring you animals torn by wild beasts. I bore the loss myself. You demanded payment from me for anything stolen. 40 day and night I suffered, scorching heat by day, freezing cold at night, and little sleep. 41 for 20 years I slaved in your household, 14 years for your two daughters and 6 years for your flocks, and you changed my wages 10 times. 42 If the God of my father, the God of Abraham and the fear of Isaac, had not been with me, you would have sent me away empty-handed. But God saw my hardship and rebuked you last night. 43 Laban answered, These daughters are my daughters, these children are my children, these flocks are my flocks. Everything you see is mine. Yet what can I do today about my daughters or their children? 44 Come now, let's make a covenant, you and I, and let it serve as a witness between us. 45 So Jacob took a stone and set it up as a pillar. 46 He told his relatives, Gather stones. They took stones and made a heap, and they ate there by the heap. 47 Laban called it Jegar-Sahadutha Aramaic for witness heap, but Jacob called it Galid, Hebrew for witness heap. 48 Laban said, This heap is a witness between you and me today. That's why it was called Galid. 49 It was also called Mizpah watchtower, because Laban said, May the Lord keep watch between you and me when we are apart. 50 If you mistreat my daughters or take other wives besides them, even though no one is with us, remember that God is witness between you and me. 51 Laban also said to Jacob, Here is this heap, and here is this pillar I've set up between us. 50 To this heap is a witness, and this pillar is a witness, that I will not go past it to harm you, and you will not go past it to harm me. 53 May the God of Abraham and the God of Nar judge between us. So Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. 54 Then Jacob offered a sacrifice on the mountain and invited his relatives to eat. After they had eaten, they spent the night there. 55 Early the next morning, Laban kissed his grandchildren and daughters and blessed them. Then he left and returned home.